Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV Current. First, the headlines. President Tinubu meets Toure Abdulsalam Ribadu over Niger. Ministers Badaru Mutawali promise remarkable security reforms. We will resolve pending dispute amicably, Minister Lalong assures organization. We will not totally pull down Sirika's aviation roadmap. Keyamo. On sport, FIFA ranked Super Falcons star Uchebi 6th best tackler. I am Moriwe Rabila Lawa. The news shortly. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is currently meeting with some critical stakeholders in the economic community of West African states, ECOWAS, intervention in the crisis to defuse the political crisis in the Niger Republic. Tinubu is the chairman of the Authority of the Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS. Attending the ongoing meetings are the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Omar Toure, leader of the ECOWAS delegation to the Niger Republic, military junta, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, and the National Security Advisor NSA to the President, Malam Nuhu Ribadu. A source revealed that the person and the reason for the meeting would revolve around reverting armed conflict over the Niger crisis. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, and the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Mohammed Mutawali, have promised remarkable changes in Nigeria's security architecture within 1 year. The new minister stated this on Tuesday while addressing journalists on the occasion of the assumption of office as the Ship House, Ministry of Defense, Abuja, barely 24 hours after being sworn in the cabinet members. Badaru assured the public that, for the sake of the country, he and the Minister of State could not afford to betray the trust given to them by President Bola Tinubu. According to him, within a year, there will be remarkable changes for the better in the country's security situation. He also promised that he and Mutawali would do their best to meet the mandate of Tinubu, who, along with all Nigerians, are desperate to see that the nation's security is ensured. For his part, Mutawali gave an assurance that the ministry will spare no effort in building a strong defense apparatus capable of handling any threats. On resumption of office as Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong has promised to resolve all pending labour disputes by working closely with the two labour groups, the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria TUC. Lalong also assured to address with strong determination the new minimum wage and all the palliatives arising from the removal of your subsidy. The government, through the NLC and TUC and their affiliates, not only ensure that all impending industries disputes are settled amicably, but we will address and with strong determination the new minimum wage, all the palliatives arising from the removal of subsidy, he said. He also stated that the ministry shall leverage technology, skill acquisition, entrepreneurship, and agriculture, among others, to open up more employment opportunities for all Nigerians. In the coming weeks, we shall unveil detailed plans of President Tinubu's vision for labor and employment, and also spell out the role that the ministry and its agencies, deployment partners, and Nigerians in general will play in actualizing it. Lalong, while delivering his address, added that because of the level of unemployment, underdevelopment, and the challenges associated with the work environment, President Bola Tinubu has tasked them to make sure that SDGs 8 is achieved to ensure that Nigerians get decent employment and are adequately remunerated for their labor both in public and private sector. We shall therefore mobilize and deploy all the resources of the ministry towards ensuring that the matters relating to labor and employment are galvanized around and across relevant MDAs and sector of the economy in line with the renewed agenda of President. Our workers must get value for their labor and operate in safe and conducive environments. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has said he would not totally pull down the aviation roadmap implemented by the immediate past administration. However, he hinted about tinkering with the roadmap by adding to it. The aviation roadmap unveiled by his immediate past predecessor, Senator Adi Sirika, encompasses various projects like the National Carrier, Airport Concession, the establishment of maintenance, repair, and overall facility, among others. However, majority of the project did not come into fruition in the 8 years of the Muhammadu Buhari administration. Keyamo, who served as the Minister of State for Labour and Productivity in the last administration, assumed as the Minister of Aviation, promising to look into the roadmap. He was welcomed by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Emmanuel Mirwole, and other officials of the ministry. We may have to add to the roadmap, but not to pull it down totally, because I know it was a product of a roundtable held in 2016. So, if it's well thought out, I like the structure that I saw. He was quoted as saying during his first day in office, Keyamo said. The new minister said he would in the next few days get briefings from the directors in the ministry, as well as heads of agencies as he settles down in the ministry. In addition, he vowed to work towards addressing the complaints of passengers and improving service delivery in the aviation industry. At every point in time, we must put the people first. I intend to start getting briefings from the directors first, then agencies starting from tomorrow. The Permanent Secretary should draw a schedule up for the briefings, he concluded. The Medical and Dental Consultant Association of Nigeria, MDCAN, has issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government, urging immediate action on the review and implementation of the recently revised consolidated medical salary structure as agreed with the Nigeria Medical Association. The Consultant Association emphasized that the circular released by the government only addressed the percentage increase in basic salary, neglecting to apply it to both basic salary and all allowances except as an allowance. This omission, they said, has resulted in the exclusion of clinical lectures, honorary consultants from the benefits of the revision. The association further stressed that any increase in salaries should take into account the effect of fuel subsidy removal and the prevailing high inflation rate. In a statement signed by MDCAN's president, Victor Makonjola, the association urgently called for the resolution of issues with the National Association of Resident Doctors to restore normal operations in government hospitals for effective health care delivery. The statement issued after MDCAN's extraordinary National Executive Council meeting outlined their demand. We call for the correction of error of commencement of the implementation of the upward review of commerce from 1st June 2023 to 1st January 2023. We demand that the upward review of the commerce should take into consideration the impact of the fuel subsidy removal and the high inflationary trend that is currently being experienced. We demand the immediate implementation and circularization of the agreed modalities for correcting the shortfalls in remunerations of clinical lectures, honorary consultants. National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has distributed some relief materials to 23,000 victims of the 2022 flood disasters and vulnerable persons affected by the incident in the 25 local government areas of the state in the period under review. The Director General of NEMA, Alhaji Mustafa Ahmed, stated these during the symbolic flag off of distribution exercise last weekend in Maitumbi area of Minna, the state capital of Niger. Represented by the Relief Item Supervisor, NEMA, in Minna, Malam Abubakar Yusuf stated that the intervention was to support farmers affected by the 2022 flood disasters in the parts of the state and most vulnerable persons to cushion the effect of hardship on the beneficiaries, adding that the sad incident of the 2022 flood disaster affected many communities across the country, including Niger State, just as he emphasized that no fewer than a total of about 680,884 victims were assessed as the victims of the 2022 flood disaster. The organizers of the intervention tagged the program Special National Economic and Livelihood Emergency Intervention, urged the beneficiaries to make proper use of the items to improve their social economic conditions. The caretaker chairman of the Bogoro local government area of Bauchi State LGA, Marcus Bitrus, has cried out over the persistent kidnappings in the council. He said 7 cases of kidnapping for money have been recorded so far in Brno and in Bogoro and in the past 2 months. Bitrus stated these during a visit to affected communities on Tuesday to solicit the support of traditional and religious leaders towards combating the kidnapping and for money on other insecurity challenges bedeviling the area. This is as he called for continuous collaboration between the local council and traditional rulers in the fight against insecurity in the area. In his words, I'm here to alert you on some security issues that have bedeviled our LGA. You could recall that recently a young lady was kidnapped and a large amount of money was paid before she was released. I want to call on all of us to wake up and be vigilant, the chairman said. He directed the traditional rulers to immediately submit the list of foreigners living in their domains who are not indigenous to Bogoro LGA. This is done not to witch hunt any person or group of people, but it is to secure the lives and properties of our people. I want to say that anyone found guilty of grazing in the night or causing any security problem will be arrested and prosecuted, the chairman concluded. A motorcycle rider, Abdullahi Adamu, has said he became involved in kidnapping following the tragic murder of his father by armed robbers. Adamu and 30 other suspected criminals, including 9 kidnappers, were recently arrested by the Ondo State security outfit at Motekun in the state's capital of Akure. According to information, Adamu said, I decided to go into kidnapping because of destiny. I don't have a father anymore. My father was killed by armed robbers years back. According to the information, life became difficult for me and my siblings. Our mother could not take good care of us. Surviving became extremely difficult for me and my siblings, so I decided to join the kidnapping business. Adamu, who is from Katsina State, stated this was the first time participating in such an operation before being apprehended by the Amotekun personnel. Meanwhile, Bello, a farmer, recounted his terrifying ordeal when 6 armed men unsuspectedly approached him while he was praying at his home in Akunu Akoko. They physically assaulted him with a stick and demanded that he accompany them into the forest. He said, I was fed with small quantity of gari without water for a few days before I was rescued by Amotekun Corps. Speaking to the arrest, the state commander of the security outfit, Chief Adetuji Adeleye, confirmed that the suspects were apprehended while attempting to collect the money. Adeleye mentioned that his team, pretending to be family members of the victim, captured 3 of the suspects when they arrived for the payment. He said the 3 that were arrested led us to the other 6 suspects. So we arrested 9 of them and they are going to be charged to court soon. To the foreign story. The African Union on Tuesday suspended Niger from all its institutions and activities following last month's coup until the effective restoration of constitutional order. In a communique issued on Tuesday, the bloc noted that its decision to suspend Niger followed the failure of the military junta to hand over power to the democratically elected president Mohamed Bazoum. The AU decided in line with the relevant AU instruments, in particular the AU Constitutive Act, the protocol related to the establishment of the Peace and Security Council of the African Union and the African Charter on Democracy, Elections and Governance, to immediately suspend the participation of Republic of Niger from all activities of the AU and its organs and institutions until the effective restoration of constitutional order in the country. The AU in this regard calls upon all member states of the AU and the international community, including bilateral and multilateral partners, at large to reject this unconstitutional change of government and to refrain from any action likely to grant legitimacy to the illegal regime in Niger. The AU also commended the efforts of the Economic Community of West African States in its effort to ensure a return to democratic rule in Niger. The AU commends the efforts of ECOWAS under the leadership of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and calls on AU member states to fully implement the sanctions imposed by ECOWAS and endorsed by the PSC, and request the Commission, in consultation with ECOWAS, to regularly inform the Council on the progress being made on the implementation of the imposed sanctions. And finally, on the world news, a sports story. Super Falcons midfielder Christy Uchebe has been ranked 6th in most tackles made at the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. The ranking was done by Federation of International Football Association (FIFA) on their Twitter handle. According to the World Football Governing Body, Uchebe was ranked 6th after making 36 tackles in the 4 games she played in for the Super Falcons. At number 1 is Australia's Catherine Gowrie, 59 tackles, Jackie Groningen of Netherlands, and Georgia Stanway of England are joint second, 44 tackles. Sweden's Filippa Angandali is third, 43 tackles, and at number 4 is Grace Geroyo of France, 40 tackles. At number 5 is Lucy Brose of England, 37 tackles. England's Kara Walsh and On a Battle of Spain are joint 7th, 35 tackles. And Lorena Bedoye is Colombia in 8th, 33 tackles. The Super Falcons made it to the round of 16 after finishing in the group that had co-hosts Australia and Canada and Republic of Ireland. After a goalless draw in their first game against Canada, the Randy Waldrum-led side shocked Australia 3-2, playing 0-0 with Ireland. However, they lost 4-2 on penalty shootout to England, who played with 10 players. The game was decided on penalties after 120 minutes of football ended goalless. With our sports story, we've come to the end of today's world news from BGI TV Current. Before we go, some headlines. President Tinubu meets with Toure Abdulsalam Ribadu over Niger. Ministers Badaru Matawali promise remarkable security reforms. We will resolve pending disputes amicably, Minister Lalong assures organizations. We will not totally pull down Sirica's aviation roadmap. Keyamo. And on sport, FIFA ranked Super Falcons star Uchebi's 6th best tackler. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For other placements of goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Good evening.